Okay, I'm recording this from my car. It's 10:01 p.m. on Thursday. I think it's the 8th day of, is it the 8th? The 8th of June. And I just got out of Beau is Afraid. And I have about a 15-minute ride home. Well, not even. Probably 10 minutes from here. I live so close to... It's so easy to get in and out of the city, and I'm always, like, a bit weary of going into the city. I'm driving over the Ben Franklin Bridge, which I've realized... I have a fear of driving over bridges, but I don't mind this bridge. And I don't know why exactly. There's something about it that is not menacing when you're on it. Because the walkways, especially like when you go up, when you first get on it on either side, it's not as imposing. You just turn and then you're on it. You don't see the bridge, because if you're standing below on the Delaware and you're looking out, if you look at the bridge, even at night or during the day, it's terrifying to me. I mean, this the architecture of it is just. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird fear that I have. But even a bridge that I like, the Walt Whitman Bridge, which is, north of here, south of here, sorry, and is like way more imposing. And like when you're on it, you just feel the weight of the bridge. But there's something you feel almost like a broad. The lanes are big or something on it too, which I like. I don't know. I guess I could talk about my bridges and my fear of them. I could go on and on. But I won't belabor the point. I'll just say that, yeah, it's a bit of a conquering a fear going in. And I've done this a few times this year. And I would never thought to do it. And I feel good about it. I feel like it's like a good stepping stone to be like, oh, this bridge is no problem. Now I need all the bridges should be no problem. And that's kind of how it's a metaphor for life. And talking about fear is a good segue into this movie. Beau is Afraid. Fear. And holy shit, I don't even know what I'm going to say about this movie right now, because my brain is a 3-hour just magnum opus on many levels. On another level, it does feel like an overlong sloppy mess, and I kind of, but I love the mess. Like, I don't get me wrong. I think this is probably a masterpiece, and I think the stretching it out as it does, it feels like it could have ended at 5 different places and wrapped up and made the same point more or less. But the talk about the weight of things, like the bridge, like the weight, like the bigness of it is the thing. Is part of that. Like it's almost becomes a metaphor for fear in and of itself. Just the length of it, the length of a life, and yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great, and I'm like I said, I don't know. I'll be rambling here because I'm like literally just driving home from Philly. And recording this on my phone, and not really, I don't have my thoughts together. Like I feel like I would have to watch this 5 times to like adequately put together some coherent thoughts. The thematic stuff, which is like on one hand very obvious, but on the other hand, like it does need, I feel like, some unpacking. But just in moments, the movie is so lovely and just so weird. I mean, somehow weird. I knew it was going to be colossally weird. I just knew. You knew from the trailer. I mean, you just kind of, you just knew what you were getting into. But it was somehow even weirder than that, which I appreciated. It's such a departure from really, Ari Aster. This is his 3rd film, and they're all so different. They really are like just uniquely different. And the first 2 are horror films, and I would not classify this movie as a horror film, although obviously it has like those tones. shining through, which is kind of this guy's wheelhouse, and I get it. But all of them are just so weird and uniquely different, and about different, like they're all about something else, right? Like, Hereditary is this obviously more in common with the Hereditary than Midsummer, which is, obviously like the most horrific, depressing breakup movie metaphor, which, people, that's sort of like a joke at this point. It's almost a meme or something. But this movie is in line with Hereditary in the familial thing, with a focus on just the parental, the child parent thing, which it is. That's what a lot of Hereditary, I guess, is about too. Is this idea of like parents and children, which is a lot of the best movies are about that topic, which is, again, loose and broad on the one hand, but mysterious and just kind of the perfect fodder to get weird and make some piece of art. And that's the thing about that struck me about this movie. It really is I love going to movies like this, because you just, even like I said, I think this movie's sloppy in a lot of ways, but I love the sloppiness of it. I love the risk taking. I think it's just it's lovely to see someone just kind of have the freedom to make all the choices that he ended up making. And I don't know if they're all the right choices. Like, there's parts of this that by the end of this, it's really, there's like I said, 3 or 4 times where you're just like, that movie could have ended right here. And I wasn't really checking my clock. I looked at my phone a couple times just to glance. I had to pee, so I was just like, all right, can I hold it? Can I hold the pee? I don't want to miss anything, so I was looking at the clock just to see about how much time was left in the movies. I knew at some point there's like, oh, this movie's got an hour left, and then I was like, oh, there's still 25 minutes left. It's like, and so I did on that level. I was just like kind of astonished by the sheer the dragging of it is just like, but that's again, I think that's part and parcel with the metaphor of the movie, that there's no winning, like this battle against your mother, and like it's just like it never ends. That it could have gone, the movie could have been 6 hours long, and it still wouldn't have encompassed that feeling and made it kind of tangible. And I think you can't get away with a movie longer than 3 hours. I think the original idea was I think I remember reading an interview where he said that he wanted to make like a 4 or 5, maybe I forget what it was. I think it was 4 hours, and you could see where he was going with that, and like the idea of making a super long movie and having that length be part of the story, not just for the sake of making a long movie. Just like I think the length is part of it, but like, and I'm rambling right now, like more than I have in other recordings. And this isn't a podcast, by the way. This is just my thoughts, and I wanted to do this because this is a shout out to old school Jeff, going when I used to go see movies by myself and record on my phone. I think I did this with the Irishman review, and the movie Us. I remember I had a longer drive too. I'm almost home, so I'm just sort of like wrapping it up now. But man, oh man, I don't know where to like start with this movie. Like, I'm just thinking of pieces and parts of it. I loved the interlude, which is almost like a movie in and of itself. The animation in the woods and that whole thing. And I'm thinking about all the different characters and their arcs and how they played into the story, and how fantastical it obviously is. Just it's such a heightened reality that he's created in this movie, which is different. I know, like, that's weird to say, because Midsummer is a movie that plays with heightened sense of reality in a way, but that still, that was all built in this one mode where you have this cult. Here he's working with so many different modes and scenery and settings that it's just like it is a constant like a movement, and had like in the movie had like a hero's journey kind of quest feel with all the different like battles he has to go through. Which I think that was obviously intentional. But yeah, like I said, the performances are all great. A lot of monologuing by Patti LuPone at the end, which I have one criticism. I thought like you got that far. I think that maybe, but again, that's the whole point. Is your mother kind of just going on and on. So it does work, but it's also just like a bit like hard to process. Like I think it's a masterpiece. Maybe it's a masterpiece. I gotta sit with it for a while, more than just having this initial 15-minute chat on my phone by myself. I didn't pee at the movie theater. I don't like peeing in movie theater bathrooms. Another thing. That's for another day. I'm pulling into my driveway now. Namaste. I don't know. I might try and watch this again before I actually put my thoughts on paper if I ever get around to it. Okay. There you have it.